But then again,
watermelon's
when it comes
citrus though.
right, and that's what I'm saying. Then it comes down to like, well, fucking, we can't do watermelon there. Oh, we can't do even.
What is watermelon? Just
no, it's not citrus.
is it a vegetable?
It's got seeds.
Because it seeds.
Oh, fun time. Someone's gonna email us about that. It's be cool.
Are watermelons vegetables though? I'm pretty sure they are.
No,
It's got seeds in it.
I don't think so. God, I'll Google this. Let's finish this.
oranges have seeds in them.
Aren't apples vegetables?
Apples have seeds. I'm not even gonna Google this now.
Is a tomato a vegetable?
I don't.
No, it's a fruit.
Tomato's a fruit. That's
It's a
the
fruit.
thing. There we
Yeah.
go.
That's you get confused. Watermelons and tomatoes.
That's what I was thinking of.
Maybe that's why you think the beer tastes
Tomatoes
weird.
are
'Cause
fruits.
it doesn't taste like tomatoes at all.
Hey guys, welcome to the episode of the Hoppy Craftsmen. I'm Chris.
I'm Nate.
And we are unprepared.
Nah, whatever.
We're ready. We're very prepared.
Ed, I mean, I know you're not used to this game, but this is a game that we played for a long time. This is called our normal show.
Yeah, we sat down. We have beers in front of us. We're ready to go.
I mean, really, what it came down to is we just wanted to talk about beer and the beer we talk about all the time and what's going on. Have you heard this news? That's kind of like this show. That's what this is. So,
Wait, do you want to talk about beer or craft beer?
ooh, shit! Right from the get go,
Oh no, I missed it.
the beer versus craft beer.
Oh,
That old,
So, Ed, what are you talking
that
about?
whole going back to the well.
Oh, by the way, Ed's
explain
here, guys.
yourself, Ed. Yeah, Ed refused to introduce himself, but he is here.
I've never introduced myself once on this show.
I introduced him all the time.
yeah, that's my thing. That's my
Guess what? That's over.
That's my shtick.
No one's gonna be introducing you anymore.
Ab-Inbev says that craft will be dead in 2 years.
Yeah, that's
The terminology.
The term craft.
It'll all just be. So what will it be?
I have no idea. Beer.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, they brought up in the so there's an article about it, right? And they talk about it's basically what it was. It was an Instagram.
It's going to be an Instagram TV series.
like a 3-part TV series on
Which
Instagram.
who the hell is watching Instagram TV anyway?
Hope you can DVR that stuff because I don't know. I'm not seeing when they bring it out. But yeah, they basically say that they're kind of likening it to the term microbrews. Back in the day, that people we used the term microbeer or microbrew, nano brew. And then like the craft beer industry didn't like that because they thought we're making the idea that these places were small and not very big and blah, blah, blah. And so they changed it to craft beer. And now I think that's what they're trying to do with this too is like, oh, we're not going to use craft beer. We're going to use something else. I mean,
it's already. There's already 1,000 different words. There's indie beer. It's
Right.
Independent beer. It's artisan beer. It's there's 1,000 different things for it. But
right.
there's no way the terminology will be gone in 2 years because that's like saying there won't be any more craft breweries, and there's always going to be small craft breweries.
Well, it's funny. Like Ed brought up a good point. We were talking about it earlier. He said that, it's not even fucking Anheuser-Busch's term to fucking even say it's going away. It's not even, they don't fucking the ones that determine what craft beer is.
Yeah, they can't send a C&D for craft beer, which unfortunately they probably wish they could do.
Right. And they can't really keep buying them up and put them on the high end because then it wouldn't be the high end. It would just be the normal end. So,
Well, yeah, I think that's probably some of the bitterness of it is because like one of the articles I read says that the company became the nation's leading seller of craft beer this summer. How are they the leading seller of craft beer when
the Brewers Association.
once those breweries were acquired, they're not craft breweries anymore?
I mean,
Right.
still there's we're still what's that one
But
in California? They're still calling that craft beer. There's a couple.
Well, that's the thing is, it's like,
Golden Road?
Golden Road. Thank you. Jeez.
that's it. And kind of like what you alluded to earlier, Nate, basically about the independent. I mean, I think there are people who are trying to use that more now to help kind of distinguish. But I still think it's going to be independent craft brewer, not necessarily
There's no way.
independent brewery. That doesn't make sense.
It's used as a term to determine that it's the craftsmanship of the beer. It was crafted for you. They want to. The problem is big beer is just upset that their beer is not considered craft beer.
100%.
They're just bummed out and they're like, "What the hell?" We hire professional brewers. We have a teams full of people who love our beer, who love our product. We love our product. Why is this not craft beer?
Well, because you can't buy passion.
Exactly.
Right? That's what it comes down to.
Well, here's a excerpt from the Instagram TV series is the host asks, I guess, a brewer from somewhere, what do you think craft beer is now? Do we even use that word? Like, are they afraid of the terminology? Is this Harry Potter, like he who must not be named type of thing? Like,
where was this filmed?
It was, I don't know where it was filmed, but it's part of that Instagram TV series.
Oh, Instagram, I mean, okay.
But so the answer from Jaron Mitchell of Four Pines Brewing Company, apparently Ab-Inbev's strategy is to buy breweries with the term "four" in it.
Cool. If you have
That's a
four in
good
your
strat-
name,
yeah.
if you have four in your name,
We're gonna buy you.
Look out.
I think the term will be gone, and I quote, sorry, got to be a little professional. Jaron Mitchell, and I quote,
Please.
I think the term will be gone in a couple of years' time. Probably long before our time, there was another term, probably used to be called illicit beer, end quote.
Yeah, it just sounds like a guy who's...
So they're going
out.
to try and turn it into a bad word, like, oh, craft beer, which essentially was the original aspect of it. Like, ooh, craft beer, it's a dirty word. And now-
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I saw
They're
that.
just bummed out, man.
Well, I saw the heading for this, and I didn't read it until earlier today, and like, it's one of those things where I saw the heading, and I knew it was just gonna be lots of fucking like bullshit from them trying to basically be like, oh yeah, we're not gonna, you probably shouldn't use that term anymore. We want to change the way people think and blah blah blah. And that's what they're trying to do. Like at this point, they couldn't buy fucking craft beer. They couldn't fucking, they can't. When they bought it, they still aren't craft beer, and now they're basically trying to change people's minds of what actually craft beer is.
Well, this kind of goes back to the Pete Coors thing, right? Where he was talking about at was it GABF?
Right. Or
No.
it was the award ceremony before that, right?
Yeah, where he was talking about we're all beer and
Yeah.
all this stuff and the support that we should support you, you should support us, all that horse shit he spoke. Like they're trying to say, hey, let's mend fences, but we want everybody to be in our yard.
Yeah. Let's not use your as a term. Let's do it on our term instead.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. It just makes me laugh. Again, and you know what? I think they have a point to the, like I said, the aspect of, right, it's not just going to be craft beer anymore. I'd rather people use independent craft beer, but it's kind of a mouthful, right?
Say that again?
Independent craft brewer.
It got stuck coming out.
It got stuck in my mouth. That's so hard to, it's a long, indie beer is great too. It's a little shorter version.
Indie beers too.
But it's too music-y.
indie.
Yeah, it's too
It's
indie.
too indie.
Like then you really start
Jesus
seeing neckerchiefs and freaking
Oh my gosh.
cowboy
OP.
hats.
Well, skinny jeans probably everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
I think it'll continue. Craft beer is going to keep going the way it's going for a long time. It's going to be known as craft beer. I think you're just going to see breweries die, and more breweries die than you see open at some point.
But I think like it's in the industry, it's kind of gone away. Like nobody says, "Hey, let's go to a craft beer bar." Everybody says, "Let's go to a brewery."
Nobody ever said, "Let's go to a craft beer bar."
Do you think they're trying to also
They
tie
all
into?
said, "Let's go to a craft brewery," and people still say, "Let's go to." But the thing is, actually, people just say, "Let's go to a brewery."
Yeah, exactly.
They just leave it out. They know it's craft beer, but people who drink craft beer aren't going to be like, "I'm going to go for a craft beer." What are you going to have today, sir? I think I'll have a craft beer.
Yeah,
I mean, if that's their reasoning, then they're absolutely correct.
Right.
I don't refer to anything as craft beer. I just drink craft beer, I guess. If someone from the outside of the realm was looking in, they called it craft beer. They say, "Hey, you drink craft beer?" Yeah, I do. But
it's funny. I do the same thing. I think the only thing I do refer to not craft beer is fucking big beer, right? Like I don't ever say I'm just like this is beer, and then that's all fucking big beer.
yeah, absolutely. I always distinguish. I'm always like, that's not what I want.
Right.
I mean, I always base it off things like that.
Do you think a lot of it too is I think there is an issue in kind of craft beer in general, if you want to go that route, with the people how the Craft Brewers Association doesn't know how to, classify certain breweries now. People that aren't actually completely owned by another third-party company, or one that's not actually owned by another beverage company, or ones that are like three craft breweries put together.
Yeah, like the
It's
Oscar
always
Blue
gonna be
situation.
Yeah, right, exactly. They don't really. How do you help determine what's craft beer between that? And so maybe if we're going into those kind of terms, then they could be right. They could be.
It's always going to be a mess, because in a perfect world, you should be able to list all the breweries like Ren, locally owned. And Wilderness obviously falls into that, but if it's if they're based on scale, you know what I mean, small, tiny, like X amount of releases, it'd be nicer to have levels in this than big beer, craft beer.
Right. Well, and
it'd be nice to be like, well, no, this is, these guys are owned, it'd be nice but it's impossible.
Yeah, but then you go back to the whole micro brew, nano brew.
Right. And then, they have regional craft brewer.
That's still a thing. Just nobody ever fucking sits there and says, let's go find the local nano brewery.
Yeah. Right.
Well, who's brewing
the least on site? Well, that's probably Cartel. It used to be, but now they're not Cartel anymore.
I remember we talked about it a while ago too. I think you brought up about how, when does a craft brewery become too large to be actually a craft brewery too? I think you brought up Sam Adams,
Stone,
like those be like that. Like, at one point, do you not call them craft beer? Right. I mean, they're technically craft brewery. There's a different term for them.
Distribution?
And I think this also falls into something that Big Beer would like to say for themselves, that craft beer is a state of mind.
Yeah.
When you're brewing, it's about where you're getting it. It's about who you're making it for. It's about how you feel about it when you're brewing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could take some of the most amazing brewers, and just because you put them on a gigantic system doesn't mean that the craft beer is not popping out anymore.
Right. Well, I
think again that follows into maybe what Big Beer would rather you say about them. But
I think what happens too a lot is that the terminology gets interchangeably used between describing a brewery itself and also describing the beer itself.
Yeah.
Right. And those are two different things, right? Because craft beer, like you said, it could be made on a big system as long as you're doing it in the craft spirit, like buying local ingredients and using like real ingredients and those kind of things.
And again, some guy from Big Beer is probably sitting here and he'd be like, we fucking do that. You know what I mean? He'd be like, you're fucking describing us.
I know,
you know
right?
what I mean?
But they're not a craft brewery.
Exactly.
They could make craft beer.
They're there to put a bottom line on no matter what. And there's always somebody in every brewery business who's looking at the bottom line.
Yeah.
But it's about why you open the door. And I don't know. It's hard to, it is tough because bullshit. There's not some brewer at Coors who doesn't just love brewing and love making beer and does not all of them, right? Like every one of them. That's why they do it. So, they probably find the argument quite silly themselves. But if you've been making something for 100 years and you're just pumping it out every day, it's not. I mean, is it craft beer? Is there a time on how long you make a beer that makes it craft beer? Because
it's funny.
It's such a funny little thing.
It's like the.
You just have to keep it simple and be like, it's about how much you make, and that's what they do now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it could get convoluted. It could get crazy depending on how you want to classify it.
It's like, stop. How much do you brew?
So here's another argument. So the definition from the Brewers Association.
You can still hear Ed.
Yes.
Just here for the intro, and that was it.
Of craft beer. I was practicing reading in the car on the way here.
Good stuff.
So
he was.
No wonder you got no wonder you were so. Your tummy was so upset when you got here.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, I shouldn't.
Don't
Rule number one, don't start with them.
Don't start with them.
So the Brewers Association defines craft breweries as a small, independent, and traditional.
Yeah, it's just that's not Stone. I mean, but they're not small. But the rest of it's traditional.
It's relative, right? So like, what's
but
small?
would you call Wrenhouse traditional with their Kit Kat and?
They're still, but I think you have to meet one of those, a certain amount of those. That's why it's fucking silly.
Well, it's
dumb. I find it to be a state of mind as far as how you go about brewing.
And the small in that definition is 6 million barrels or less.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's
what you got to do.
That's still a lot of fucking beer, and that's still less than Stone makes, I'm sure.
And the independent,
but they came up with that number to separate big beer from small beer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just came up with that number one day to be like, okay, well, that number puts these guys there, and it puts the rest of us down here. That just about works for me.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. It's
line
like
in the sand kind of thing.
It's just if frankly, if somehow big beer got some of these best. Let's say they found what are the Jay Wakefield, right?
Okay, yeah.
Jay Wakefield. Everybody knows who that guy is if you really love beer because he does all kinds of crazy shit. He does all kinds of awesome collabs. He has his own beer festival, Wakefest or whatever. It's like if InBev was so lucky enough to get him to come work on the system for a day, bullshit, people wouldn't try that beer.
Yeah.
Bullshit, it wouldn't sell out to. But the people who drink Coors Light aren't going to buy it.
Well, they're going to buy it, but they're not going to buy it because of him, right?
If it's some crazy ass shit, if he comes up with some donut beer, they're not gonna fucking buy
that's
it.
true, yeah.
But if let's say they find some, if they will start working with an elite class of brewers somehow, as if they'd ever want anything to do with them, and they make some classic styles, they make their own light lager with these guys. It's like, would that not be craft beer anymore? No, because of the amount of if you brew a certain amount. I don't know. It's just silly. I think it's just so silly to me.
But in the definition, this kind of covers the Oscar Blues little Voltron thing going on.
Yeah.
Is the independent part is less than 25% is controlled by a beverage alcohol industry member that is not the craft brewer.
Right.
So like the entity itself has to own 75% of. So I mean,
they don't want, but so a company an investment firm buys any one of the small breweries we like. It's not small beer anymore. It's not craft beer anymore.
How many breweries have investors and stuff, but they're not.
Let's say I win the lottery tomorrow and Red House needed a buyer. I'd be like, no problem.
But you would be an investor, and the definition says beverage, somebody in the alcohol beverage industry. So if you started your own brewery and then bought into Red House,
I got you,
and own 26%, then by the craft brewery definition, they would no longer be a craft brewery.
Well,
but if you were just Nate
the
what guy?
The Ren House fanboy.
Yeah.
Then yes, you would totally still be independent craft beer.
Yeah.
So.
I wish that was a problem I could make for them.
Me too.
By buying them out.
They got to do something. So it's getting bad over at Ren House trying to get in there.
Dude,
it's busy nonstop now. There used to be some downtimes, but they're few and far between now.
Hey, good for them.
I mean, granted, it's a small place, but it's still
it's a good problem to have.
They need to buy out Pala. They need to get Pala out of there and just level that place and make it a parking lot.
Yes.
The liquor store?
Well, that too.
That too, I suppose.
Yeah, get rid of the liquor store.
Check out the whole corner up.
Anywhere though.
Yeah, the liquor store's making too much money. I'm sure.
San Diego, they're gonna be able to start buying each building one by one.
Yeah, no shit. No fucking shit. Well, we are drinking beers, guys. So probably should talk about what we're drinking.
I can't taste that well, but I bet this Odd 13 collab that Ren did with them called Watchmen is pretty good.
Yes.
It tastes the little bit I can taste tastes delicious.
I liked it. I like that beer. Ed, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking the candy bar milk stout from McFate, which probably I've been drinking for a week straight now.
Oh, Jesus.
How is it?
It's really good. Kind of milk chocolatey when it's cold, but then it kind of as it warms up, you get a little more of that.
You gonna let me have that other can?
Yeah, you can have it. I brought to share.
Dude, I liked the. Was it their? They had a Hawaiian one.
They had a coconut one,
yeah,
and then the king sized was
the
barrel.
I wanted the damn king size.
The can was cool looking. I like that. The little crown on it or whatever.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I was bummed about missing that.
Yeah, and then I'm drinking. Ed brought a Russian Imperial Stout from Tombstone.
So, how is it?
It's thick.
It's very thick.
THICC.
There's like 3 C's on that thing.
Also didn't realize it was 15%, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Chris is gonna go for a sweet drive after this.
Drinking that one beer. That's about it. We'll see how that goes.
Gotta love one stop gas.
Yeah. One stop.
Tombstone all the time.
Gas shop.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Love that place.
Yeah, it's a little dry for me, but I go down there once in a while.
I work over that way, so it's kind of on my way home.
Perfect. Fucking icked. So I was gonna say, what else is I actually kind of want to talk about. There's been a lot of a lot of craft breweries coming to Arizona all of a sudden, and a lot of people doing some collabs with those people. Like
a lot of releases here in Arizona. Wandering's having some getting pure in.
Yeah, well, right. That was fucking crazy.
And Chris would like to talk about that a little bit.
The Pure Project
they just got Super Juice Bros. Oh no, it was the Fundamental Observation delivery.
Yeah,
I saw it and I text Chris. I was like, get down there because Chris works a lot closer to them than I do.
Right, and it was and they open at noon, right? And this was at 11:30 ish, right?
Might even a little 11:25, I think 11:20.
So they posted it at that point. I get down there at 12:08, right? They're gone. They're out of it. They're already gone. So there was a line out the door at 11:40. And I was like, how did people in 10 minutes get down here and line up outside fucking Wandering Tortoise?
They knew.
Somebody, yeah.
Someone knew.
Or there's only a handful of bottles.
Well, they had fucking
think they had two boxes.
2 boxes. So they did 24 bottles. And most people I saw at the bar had 2 bottles in front of them. So and that's what the limit was. I'm guessing it was 2. So technically 12 people should have got it. If there's 12 people that watches Wandering Tortoise Instagram that well, that they can
I
see
guarantee
it,
that.
and then in 15 minutes, get there.
I could see that, but it should have been 1 bottle per person.
Right.
Yeah.
All day it should have been
That
1 bottle per
limit?
person. What are you doing?
Yeah.
2 per on 2 12 packs. What the fuck? I love those guys.
Right.
They're only doing what they can by bringing great beer to the valley, so I could say very little. But fuck,
No,
dude. I love to talk shit about allotments because Wilderness has fucked them up in the past.
Yeah,
Red
that
House,
last dreamsicle
Red
was
House
a
tries real
nightmare.
hard and does a good job. But yeah, man, that's fucking stupid. If you're gonna have 24 beers and you're as popular as Wilderness,
Wandering Tortoise.
all the W's, as Wandering Tortoises in the valley, like they're the number 1 beer shop in the valley. Come on.
I mean, it's kind of gone away, but in that situation, would you do like a brown paper ticket thing?
No, fuck it. The way if they want to bring people in their shop, that's awesome. I just don't get the 2 bottles. That's such a rare beer. Why is it 2 bottles per person?
It could have been more than that. I have no clue. I saw
you're
people with 2.
assuming.
I'm assuming it was 2. It could have been more. It could have been no limits. Who knows?
That was the one. I don't think that anybody's that irresponsible, but you know,
I've seen some places.
that's just silly though.
Very fucking.
Maybe
true.
it was 1 per person. You know, and if it was, then my bad. I just listened to Chris about it. It's Chris's fault.
I said I just saw people with 2 bottles in front of them at the bar. So
This is fucking bullshit.
unless
Well,
they
it's
had,
like people were raging about the last Dreamsicle release from
Why?
Wilderness. Well,
Because if it didn't last the day. Get
No,
your
it didn't.
fat ass down there and
it
get
didn't
some.
last a day.
oh
Not
no, it
that
didn't.
one.
No, the
Your
Dreamsicle
thing-
didn't.
The Dreamsicle sold out less than
It was like
2 hours, I
yeah.
think.
But if it's there for 2 hours, I don't think you have the right to complain.
There was a line around the fucking building.
Really?
Yeah. Dreamsicle was
People in
crazy.
line didn't get it.
But I'll say this: their allotment was a case of.
Yeah, but it was
person.
a case. And here's the thing: from what
I think in their defense, they couldn't have not seen that coming.
here's the thing: when for AZ Beer Week, when they did the Dreamsicle release, they did a case allotment, but I think they did 120 cases. So that's 120 people can get a case. Not everybody's getting a case. Kind of works out. For the second batch, I think it was 600 cases that they did. Or sorry, 60 cases.
It was 60. I was gonna say it was way less than that.
It was 60 cases, and they still did a case allotment.
Yeah.
The other thing is, a lot of people like your argument saying, well, if you want the beer, get down here early. Well, when you do a case allotment, people are buying cases that don't need it. So many people in that line were like, oh, yeah, I'm buying this for my buddy. This is for me, and I'm going to sell this. If you limit it to 2 or 3
What a
4-packs,
sell this? What a douche.
people aren't going to go get in line for 3 4-packs if they're not going to consume all of that. But if you limit to a case, then they're like, hey, go get me Dreamsicle when you're there. And then people end up buying a case who would.
But wouldn't you rather just make sure you could sell all your beer?
I mean, that's the hard part, right? It's hard. It's really hard because there's times, like you said,
can play both sides
If
of it,
people,
man.
if you're sitting there all day
I
on some
agree with
beer,
you too.
But second round Dreamsicle, there's no doubt you're going to sell that beer.
like, right? Like I guess it's true, right? So here's
They've
one
had
thing.
a lot of beer sitting for a lot of days lately.
But Dreamsicle they sold that the day of Strong Beer Fest. So people going to Strong Beer Fest were
I
still
hear
in
ya.
line, and that
But
sold
they've
out
also
in an hour.
they've had Dirty Hop Waters sitting for a week lately.
But see, the difference between it is that this is a beer that they've released before. It was very popular, and they released it again, the
right.
same beer. So you've kind of almost assumed it's going to be similar to that, right? Where the Dirty Hop Water series is different every time. And I think at this point, I think people are just getting tired of it because it's the same.
Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody's tired of it. Don't start making them.
I think
I don't want to shit on
Not that anybody
Wilderness, but their
Wilderness.
Dirty Hop
You
Water.
love to shit on Wilderness.
Their
Shut the
Dirty Hop
fuck
Water.
You love to talk shit about Wilderness and go there. You love to talk shit about McFate and go there.
True. Anyway, back to my story.
that's what we do.
To me, and this goes into the whole series things, it's like the Dirty Hop Water are more consistent than like the Gozas. The watermelon Goza is more different than the Dirty Hop Waters.
Well, the Dirty Hop Waters are all different hop varieties. That
Yeah,
doesn't
but the
make sense.
profile of that
I
beer
agree.
is very similar from can to can.
For the most part.
But like the watermelon Gozas are like the last 3 have been the spectrum, like sweet, average, salty.
Yeah, but then this is an argument we had when
We talked about
discussion.
this,
was a
and I can
discussion
discuss it again.
about using real fruits in beers, and
If they're going to commit to using Arizona ingredients, things are going to change. And people I've been talked to some about, I'm not going to even say their name, but I respect them very much. And that's like, they're like, are you saying it's all right to make inconsistent beer? And it's like, No, but it's all right if you're gonna have the convictions to make sure you go local and you got to make a beer again and you're gonna make the same beer. If the produce is different, they still made it. Fuck them. You know why? Who cares? They still made the beer and they still tried to make it as best as they could. If it's different, that's beer. That's craft beer. Like I said, that's what you do. You make it.
I think the point I brought up was that if we're talking about one of your anchor beers or fucking common beers you have all the fucking time, right? This is your fucking typical lineup. This is your IPA, this is your Hefeweizen, this is your whatever, right? Those beers, yes, they should be consistent. They should be exactly the same. But if we're talking about beers that are like released once a year with a fucking real fruit in them, no, there's no way it's gonna fucking taste the same every time.
They decided to keep making it, and they made it anyway. If the fruit haul was different, if it came from a different place, but it was all still local, it was still Arizona. Hey, fuck them. They still tried to make it, you know?
Times I fucking have an orange here and it's like, this just tastes like water. And then like 2-3 months later, I have another one and it fucking tastes amazing. It's like, you can't really fucking judge that before you make a fucking beer. So.
Well, you can't, they plan these beer months ahead, right? They plan these beers months ahead and they're always trying to get as more local as possible. I mean, if they were getting one from one place, if they can get it closer and more in their local area, they're going to do it.
Right.
They work with Agritopia all the time.
Thanks for bringing this up, Ed. Jesus.
Yeah, you fucking douchebag. No, I just think it's funny when people are like, man, it tastes different. They make it once a year and it tastes different than it did last year.
But
they said they did it this differently, this, and this, and this. They even told us, but it's different. It's different. And it's just like,
So what if they didn't call it like, because that beer.
What do you want them to call it? The watermelon goes at 2?
No, well,
3.
Would the perception and the acceptance of it be different if it was watermelon goza, Bob's farm?
No way.
Watermelon goza, Mike's farm. Like then you could explain away. Look, these are different watermelons. These are not the same. This beer has the same profile and recipe, but.
I think they tell that kind of stuff to us all the time based off where they're telling us where they're getting there.
I think you mean if
no, I mean physically on the packaging.
Right. The different name of it. I mean, could you say like citrus goza and then fucking at that point it doesn't make a difference because then it could be any citrus you fucking wanted. But then again, when it comes
citrus though,
right, and that's what I'm saying. Then it comes down to like, well, fucking, we can't do watermelon there. Oh, we can't do even.
What is watermelon?
No, it's not citrus.
Is it a vegetable?
It's got seeds.
Is it seeds?
Oh, fun time. Someone's gonna email us about that. It's be cool.
Are watermelons vegetables though? I'm pretty sure they are.
No,
it's got seeds in it.
I don't think so. God, I'll Google this. Let's finish this.
Oranges have seeds in them.
Aren't apples vegetables?
Apples have seeds too. I'm not even gonna Google this now.
Is a tomato a vegetable?
I don't.
It's a fruit.
Tomato's a fruit. That's the thing. There we go.
That's you get confused. Watermelons and tomatoes.
That's what I was thinking of.
Maybe that's why you think the beer tastes
tomatoes
weird.
Tomatoes are fruits.
It doesn't taste like tomatoes at all.
Ridiculous. I fucking love it.
Although, yeah, and speaking of tomatoes, those Michelada beers, stop it.
People are making this?
What? Budweiser Michelada?
No, Michelada is fine, but the Michelada infused beers, kind of weird.
I got you.
These tomato flavored beers, just drink a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I like the beer mimosas, though. I'm okay with that. Beer mimosa's okay.
Oh, have you had the cider mimosas at Cider Corp?
No.
Those are delicious.
Damn.
Yeah. Cider Corp's killing it.
Yeah. They just
didn't they win Southwest Cider Fest? Didn't they win best of show or something?
They put on the Cider Fest. It was that barrel AZ barrel thing.
Yeah, well, and I think that was they had a Cider Fest last night.
Yeah, they did. That was what it was.
So today is Veterans Day, by the way. As we're recording this. So,
and it's also
props to those guys. Props to our veterans guys.
It's also their 1 year anniversary.
Thanks, Tom Hanks.
Yes,
they opened on Veterans Day. Cider Corp did so. I think they're celebrating their anniversary tomorrow.
Okay.
But I think today is technically their anniversary.
I'm good. I mean, I'm happy for them. I'm so glad
doing
that
really well.
Been sticking around and they've been busy. Every time I drive by, they're busy. So it's. I mean,
I think the city of Mesa loves them because they're like one of the shining spots
in there.
And November is a pretty big month for anniversaries.
Dude, it's crazy.
What?
Well, let's take a break real quick. We'll freshen our beers up, and then we'll come back when we talk about all the anniversaries this month. So, all right.
Are we back, Chris?
Yes. Oh no,
Are we back?
We're back.
I'm not doing the witch chime in.
Come on.
Ding.
Ding, we're back.
Welcome back, guys.
Break
We are drinking a new
That
beer.
was the most unenthusiastic welcome back I've ever heard you do.
Go fuck yourself, Ed. No, I was joking. I'm just kidding. No, I am kidding because I poured you a beer, which means I love you. I poured you some oatmeal raisin cookie from Wren House and the full pint.
Nice.
So
Oatmeal raisin is my favorite cookie. Anybody who says differently can go to hell.
anybody who puts raisins in anything, go to hell.
You can go
Whoa.
to hell.
I fucking hate it when people put raisins and shit and ruin them. Carrot cake, you put a raisin in it, you're fucking ruining it.
Damn.
Oatmeal cookies, you put raisin in them, you're ruining them.
I like chocolate chip oatmeal raisin cookies
You're
with
a
raisins.
bastard.
my gosh, dude. If
How's
honestly, if someone was like, I made some chocolate chip cookies with raisins,
No.
I'd be like, dude, give me that plate so I could smash it on the ground.
First of all, I didn't say chocolate chip cookies with raisins.
What'd you say?
I said oatmeal raisin cookies with chocolate chips.
Which is even worse.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay,
Man,
two different
still,
cookies.
I mean, you're ruining some good oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. I think you're just. It's
all right.
I hate, honestly, I could get into that for a minute, but
I like we all have different opinions on that. It's great.
yeah, raisins suck. But when you put them in beer, I'm good with it.
Raisins are delicious.
In beer,
They put them in wine
that sounds fine too.
when they're
Amen.
still grapes.
I'm really getting the oatmeal.
So you're a big fan of Raisin Bran then? That's what you're saying?
I actually like raisin bran.
You're fucking
Two
hypocrite.
scoops.
I do like raisin bran. I don't know what it is about raisin bran that they cover the raisins in sugar and they're just like, I don't know. Yeah, I do like those.
That's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, they do.
Jesus. Oh man. So one thing I wanted.
Wait, well, hang on. Well, first of all, let's do the drink.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
sorry,
taste.
sorry.
For fuck's sake.
Jesus.
I'm just joking. But it wasn't a collaborative effort with the full pint.
Wow.
So it's an oatmeal raisin cookie doppelbock, and I think they got a pretty positive reception at the brewery.
It's kind of funny. It doesn't smell like raisins, but it smells like grapes to me. It's kind of like
Can't smell a
grapes.
fucking thing. But that's just me. Definitely getting a little cinnamon, getting a little
Yeah.
oatmeal. I guess the sweetness was probably the raisin in there. I'm not real familiar with pulling out a raisin flavor, but it's got some sweetness. That's good.
I don't. Maybe it's just because it's
I pour that with some pie at dinner. I'd like to pour that with some some pumpkin pie.
so many fucking pumpkin peaches popping.
Oh shit! I just put chapstick on too. I wonder if that's affected.
Probably.
Could be.
I get it. It's like very dark fruity, like a wine you would get. Lots of sugar.
It's very light though too. Like the body in it's super light. It's which it could just be my mind going, oh, it's oatmeal cookies supposed to be thick, but like this is it's just thin.
You want like
a
an
little bit.
oatmeal cookie
I'd like to
milk
see this
stout
on
or
a
something?
Randall.
Could be right.
I'd like to see this on a Randall with a bunch of jammed up raisin cookies in it.
So this collab is with the Full Pint because of their 11th anniversary.
Wow. So
Of the full pint.
So before you get with the Wandering Tortoise, like I was talking about the Bottle Logic thing earlier. Two things I forgot to mention. One, they actually did have Bottle Logic on draft there. They had like 3 different fucking beers on draft, at least 3 I saw. And then I actually brought my cooler bag there to put the beer in. What I brought, right? I brought my Bottle Logic bag and I set it down. And the guy at the bar goes, "Bet you've been waiting a long time to use that bag, huh?" And I was just like, "Yeah."
Fuck you, pal.
Yeah, I was like, and then they told me they were out of it, so it didn't help me. It didn't help the situation. That's all I'm going to say.
No.
Even bigger dick since you didn't get to use it.
Bet you've been waiting to use that, huh? Not gonna be using it today.
Yeah, I was like, no, I use this all the time.
No, we love the Wandering
I do.
Tortoise. We love them with all our hearts.
So you guys just give them shit. It's fine. We give 'em
Absolutely. Oh, I'm just saying.
shit. That being said, I did talk to Sam when I was there. Sam would love for us to come back and sit down and chat with him some more. So
Oh yeah, I bet they would.
yeah,
How many people do you think are drinking hams now because of the tortoise?
that tons.
Oh, I'm sure there's no doubt that Hams has gone. Yeah, there's some flies in here, bud.
Yeah.
Chris is sitting here reaching it.
Get attacked by me.
There's some. Yeah, they smell the sugar. We're just sitting in my
It
brewery.
could be all the farts too in here.
You're
Yeah.
in Cowtown, man. There's
Jesus.
Fuck you. I'm
a
just joking.
pile of cow shit.
They're
about 2
they're
miles up
evicting
the
those
road.
cows, dude. They're kicking them out of here.
Good.
Anyway, that's a story for another podcast.
My real estate podcast later.
I'm enjoying this oatmeal raisin cookie doppelbock. It's good.
I like it. It's a nice taster glass.
Glad I
know
only
if I'd
bought
want
one 4-pack because I don't need a bunch of these, but
I don't know if I'd want a full pint of this.
I'd want to serve it with dessert.
some ice cream.
Yeah, like some pumpkin pie.
Sort of do that pie thief instead with pumpkin pie.
Can do that too.
Yeah.
Do some pecan pie with some pecan pie thief.
Yeah, there you go. I'm in. I'm in for all of that. Sorry. Now go ahead into your anniversary palooza that's going on.
Yeah, go ahead,
currently.
Ed. Put all of our 6 listeners to sleep.
Obviously, the first one mentioned was the Full Pint. Talked about them. That was their 11th anniversary. Nate's favorite, Four Peaks. You want to take a guess, Nate?
10 years. 20 years.
21st anniversary party.
It's their first anniversary. Wait, how many years since they got bought out? Is it reset after they got bought out?
Should it be a new one? 6th anniversary?
Yeah.
Ever since they turned me away, I'd be like, we'll never come back here. And they got bought out 2 years later, just cementing that fact.
And you're like, cool. Now I definitely will not be back here.
Definitely need to be back. They always served good food, especially on St. Patty's Day.
So
I loved it.
Pueblo Vida, as of this recording, just celebrated their 4th anniversary.
Right. That's
down
today.
in Tucson. They did their
weekend.
release of their number 4.
They did 4 and 1, 2, and 3.
Every year, dude, I see them posting it, and I usually get the information like ahead of time. I see like them posting, hey, we're gonna have all this fucking anniversary stuff going on and blah blah. And I'm like, God, I should really plan that for next year. I should really get down there. And then I always forget it's a fucking holiday weekend though too, so it's hard to be like, oh, fuck it, let's just go to Tucson for the holiday. It's like, yeah, no, it's not gonna.
It's
fly.
impossible to get to Tucson. They just need to pick it up and move it a little closer.
Florence.
Nobody wants to
farther,
go
the
there.
better.
Like I mentioned, Cider Corp is celebrating their 1st year.
Very cool.
And that's been a big boom in just a year. It seems like, I mean, they just put in a bottling line in less than a year. So
all I gotta say is I feel like my prediction that downtown Mesa is gonna be this little beer mecca place for drinking, I feel like it's coming true a little bit.
we'll see.
No way.
We'll see.
With what? Between them and Desert Vista?
What?
Desert Eagle.
That's
Desert
a
Eagle?
school. That's a school down there. Oro is down there as well.
If 12 West
I'm
ever
sorry.
decides to
And then
move
12
down.
also
Oro.
I like
You
Oro.
know what? I'm not going to say anything.
I like Oro. I like Oro.
I'm not saying anything. Like I have a bunch of negative shit to say. I think I have negative things to say based on absolutely zero basis. So I don't feel the need to really talk shit about them. They just haven't had beers on tap I like.
Oro. I like Oro. Desert Eagle, not a huge fan. They're okay.
Well, yeah, I don't think anybody.
I don't know how
possibly-
Desert Eagle has 2 locations.
Where's the
I do
second?
not- yeah.
Not Falcon Field. The little airport strip next to Boeing.
Oh, okay.
South Chandler there.
No, the other Mesa.
Oh, Mesa.
Yeah, north there. North.
Gotcha.
Back to anniversaries.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Speaking of 12 West,
we're talking about these people.
Their 2nd anniversary is coming up November 23rd.
They'll be in Mesa at some point, right?
Yeah, they'll be down there.
That,
I'm
then
saying.
your beer mecca might be a little closer.
It's starting to become.
Oops.
I'm saying it's
Ed,
starting.
turn your phone off.
That was
What
Nate's
the
phone.
hell?
That was Nate's phone.
You
Yeah, right.
douche.
Once again, that was Nate's phone. And these aren't in order by date by any means. McFate has their 6th anniversary coming up on the 17th. Who else? We have
McFate has what?
their
6.
6th anniversary.
McFate will be here for a long time.
Mother Road is on their 7th on November 17th.
Great
Cool.
food.
BRI's coming up probably.
No, Tower Station's really good IPA. That like Lost Highways.
Lost Highway's good.
That black IPA that's really good too.
For who?
On the road.
They didn't brew. Wait, what are we talking about here?
Mother Road in Flagstaff.
Oh, I'm talking about. Sorry, I thought Mother Bunch. Mother Bunch has got great food. My bad. Sorry.
Like I don't think Mother.
Sorry, guys.
Like they don't even have any food up there.
November 17th is BRI's anniversary party.
That's right.
And that's the actual day. So the party is on their anniversary day.
Crazy.
So
It's
that
gonna-
happens
that's-
like.
Well, it's an all day event too, right? It's
Oh, yeah,
from
they-
like 11
they
a.m.
sh-
to
they
fucking
shut
midnight or
down-
some shit.
They shut down the parking lot. I think the first 200 people get the anniversary glass.
Right.
Who else did I not mention? Pueblo Vida, blah, blah,
No,
blah.
yeah, Pueblo
The Wandering Tortoise, and we spoke about them. They're celebrating their 2nd anniversary
Great.
on
Killing it.
December 15th. So that's a month away.
Jesus.
But speaking of, here's my segue. There's a big
Oh.
segue I was
Into
excited.
anniversaries.
Yes. No, my segue into the Wandering Tortoise.
Oh,
I
man.
threw you for a loop.
We're going back into it.
Yeah. Speaking of the Wandering Tortoise, they are opening up a new location, as the rumor
What?
goes. The Sleepy Whale.
As
Shut the fuck up.
Swear to God, and it's going to be in, I think, Gilbert Chandler area.
is this like
Come farther east.
How much farther east do you want them to come?
I'm at I'm at Sauceman in Guadalupe, so
You're
right
in
around
Queen-
there would be just fine.
You're in North Queen Creek, all right? So
Fuck you. That's not true.
There's an angry crab right here. They can just go right next to
I'm
them.
in North Gilbert, Southeast Mesa. Hey, my kids would go to Gilbert schools. That's how close I am. Dude, smash that fly. Chris has had this one fly landing on his head like 80 times. Oh, he missed it.
I'm trying.
That's funny.
Find
Yeah,
it.
you know.
So here's-
So is that you said Wandering Tortoise is opening a second location? Rumor has it.
rumor has it, and I got
The
this
Sleepy
from,
Whale. That sounds like a prank.
So
Sounds like
sounds like-
early April Fool's, guys.
That sounds like
Mouth
a prank.
by Southwest reported Justin Evans is opening a second location dubbed the Sleepy Whale on the northwest corner of Arizona Avenue. They put Arizona, but Arizona Avenue and Fry in downtown Chandler.
Fuck.
And then, conveniently enough, as I mentioned that, the Instagram account, which I think is Justin, just posted a logo of the Sleepy Whale. It's a black and white logo with the outline of a whale, and from the little blowhole is hops coming out. I'll show you guys a picture. Not you guys listening, but
It's
people
very,
on the podcast.
It's true. I see it.
See that?
So well, breaking news.
That's a segue. I'm so proud of myself.
Wow.
Yay, me.
That seems like a prank.
You're a prank.
All right, whatever. That's not far enough east for me to be excited about it. That's not far enough east for me excited about it.
No,
and
do
it's
it.
too fucking north. It's way too
Can't
north.
please this guy.
Yeah, that's true.
No, you couldn't have pleased me unless that was sitting. He was like Sauceman in Guadalupe, and then I'd be like, let's do.
No, even then you'd be like, that's still too far away from my house.
Bullshit.
I gotta
If I
put
could-
pants on and go over there.
If I could bicycle to the Sleepy Whale,
Do you see a bicycle anywhere around?
Look at her. If you could use one of those electric scooters,
I will
And
get a bike. All right, I will buy a bike and I will ride it drunkenly home.
You know how they
except
say
for in the summer.
the lazy
I'll
man.
do that too. I'll ride it in the summer. If I could ride a bike to the corner and get
If
bruised,
he could ride a
mean,
bike.
Yeah,
If
I
only.
think there's a long
I
pause
will
there.
learn to ride a bike and then I will drive it to the store.
You know how they say
My son's getting real good at it. He'll teach you.
You know how they say a lazy man works twice as hard. He would rather buy a bicycle.
No,
than ride
I'd rather go into business with Justin and be like, hey, how about we put this right here instead?
I'm gonna put it next to my house. Excellent.
That's like who was it? I think it was the Howard Hughes or somebody bought a casino just so he could tear down the neon sign because it was in his view or something like
Oh,
that.
Jesus.
I would do some shit.
Imagine
like
having that
if I
kind
was
of
rich
fuck
as
you
fuck.
money.
That sounds like
If I was
you could
rich as fuck, I'd be like, what's that ugly ass sign I can see? Well, buy that. Smash it to pieces.
do. One random night in the middle of the day, you're like, oh my God, what's the fucking going on over here? There's a sign. Nah, fuck it. Tear it down.
Yeah, get rid of it.
And you're like, hey, where'd that In-N-Out burger go? You're like, oh, shit.
Fly is fun to watch because he just keeps coming and hitting you in the forehead and then flying behind you. He's on your headset, dude.
I hate it. I hate flies. I'm going to punch all the flies in the face.
That drives me nuts just watching it.
That'd be a
So
fun
what's our
question.
next
What
subject?
what would you do with fuck you money to a beer instance?
In this, what do you mean?
Like if you had fuck you money, like what petty little thing beer related would you do?
Gosh, I don't know.
Like would you buy all the buildings around Four Peaks and just advertise like
No, that's
Craft
too much,
breweries?
it's too much effort.
no, but you have fuck you money. You can pay people to do that.
Still, even if I had fuck you money, I don't think
This is a
I'd
guy
bother.
talking about buying a bike so he can ride it to the local brewery,
know.
which is
No, he wants
Who
something
wouldn't
grander.
want a brewery so close they could ride their bike to it?
technically you could ride your bike to any brewery.
Believe me, listen, when the people in Tombstone that live across the street from Tombstone, I'm always like, damn, these people have it made. Just walk
They
across
don't
the
even know
street.
it's there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yes, get your point. Man, that's a tough question. What the fuck would I do with some fuck you money to fuck some people over that? Like, yeah, I mean, that would be a good one, like Four Peaks, just so I can buy a bunch of places around them and just put billboards of good craft beer this way with an arrow pointing opposite where they're at or something.
Oh, that's what we're going to talk about. And this segues back to the anniversary thing. I'm full of segues.
You're obsessed with them.
And according to
Well-
Nate, I should follow the owner of Segway and drive one off a fucking mountain because he's getting
I
tired
said that
of
off the air in private.
That's a private insult.
That was private insult. That was just for me.
In confidence.
I told you that insult and confidence.
But coming up, which is kind of a big deal here in Arizona, is the Saguaro Society for Wren House.
Oh, for sure. Hold on. Before we go into that, let's fucking figure out what he's going to do to fuck people over with beer money.
What's your beer?
I
What's
don't
your
have
fucking?
any- I don't have anything.
Dude.
I wouldn't bother. I would just buy. I would only put money into the craft beer scene in this state.
That's how you'd fuck people over. You'd help other people make better beer.
Only certain ones,
I mean, well, yeah, that's how you'd fuck people over.
I suppose. Yeah. I don't know. I just I don't even know if I bother being an owner of a brewery. It's almost too late. But what Justin's doing, it's not too late to do more of those. Because I think that's what people really want, is they really want to go to some place that has a bunch of great beer.
Well, I mean, I've always said that. I told people that's one of the great reasons to go to a beer festival. It's the same thing. You pay one price. It's pretty reasonable. It might be a little much, but it's reasonable to try that many different kinds of beers, right?
If you've never been to Wandering Tortoise and you've never been to the area and you've never had those beers and you go in there and sit down, you're going to be there for a minute and you're going to have a good time because there's a bunch of great beer. So I probably
and then they'll have. I mean, they have so much modern times. They probably need 2 locations just to accommodate all the different beers they get from them.
How about a hot air balloon that flies around with a big giant TV in the side of it that has?
I guess if Four Peaks has a billboard next to it already, I wouldn't mind getting something being like, you know, hey, like an arrow pointing to it, like this isn't craft beer, heads up, or great restaurant, shitty beer. Something like that, I guess.
Stuff like that, yeah.
But a lot of people respect Four Peaks.
No, I mean,
so I guess you just make more enemies than friends.
It's not even Four Peaks. It's just in general.
Yeah, you could do it to.
You could do it to anybody. It wouldn't
Four
be.
Peaks is the only place I would be like that. I'm like, fuck that place.
Okay, well, let's not say local then. Let's say national.
This is too. I don't know.
Would you have a beer festival?
If I had
and name the beer festival
fuck you money, I'd pack my shit up and I would leave. So all this question is moot.
I know my fuck you.
You're
money.
You're the worst hypothetical person ever, Nate. You're like, if I had that much money, I wouldn't do any of this shit. Fuck you guys. I'm gone.
You all would never see me again anyway.
The worst cop out. Fucking.
Sorry.
Fuck you.
I'd sell all this shit you see in this dumb room and I'd be gone.
The worst.
This is my favorite shit.
Ed, what's yours?
Here's my fuck you money moment. I would go to Portland, Oregon. I would go to downtown Portland where 10 Barrel is and their rooftop bar area, which is like prime real estate because it's a downtown, so it's all city buildings. I would rent a snow machine and make it snow on their patio for like a week straight.
That's so petty.
I said it was petty. Like what
it's supposed to be.
You're Tom Petty.
How about, I said I think my idea of some air blimp with a big tiny TV screen blasting some stupid commercials out and then like a t-shirt cannon shooting t-shirts with stupid stuff on it out at people would be great. Let's do it. And then actually, you know what, even better? I'd buy a stadium and I'd fucking call it something to knock another fucking brewery.
Wait, what?
Be like something like Golden Road, like a Golden Road fucking
right
Phoenix Stadium or whatever.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Like buy a sports team stadium and then fucking make it something derogatory towards another brewery.
Perfect.
If they let me. You guys have that much money, I don't make a difference.
Just derogatory in general.
What would you call it? Like 4.5 summits?
Called not so Golden Road Brew.
Yeah.
Not so
the Bronze Road.
The Bronze
Snow Road.
Yeah.
Platinum Road.
The Platinum Road.
Good one.
Now that you ruined my segue,
Thanks, Nate.
Can we go back?
I was talking to Ed.
Thanks, Nate. Whatever.
Good question. Good hypothetical use of our time.
Hey.
So back to my segue.
Yeah, back to your segue.
Stop it with the segue stuff.
Coming back to anniversaries.
Try this off a clip.
The Saguaro Society from Wren House is coming up.
Good. That's going to be $300 I definitely have to spend.
Yeah, so
I bet it'll go up.
didn't get it in the first year, right?
You don't have to worry about it because you seem to know people who just take care of you anyway.
That's
Yeah.
true. Thanks, guys.
He has his
Appreciate
2 proxies. Chris is sitting with his 2.
He never asked me for anything, thankfully, because he has you. And I have my dad always bugging me for shit, so it usually works out.
Yeah, which sounds nice. But I was going to say that we're getting the first year, and then throughout the year, we found out it was a huge mistake. We should have been in the first year. We should have gotten in on that as soon as possible. And because it was, I mean, from the outside looking in, it seemed like they're getting cases on fucking everything. It seemed like
there was happening for sure.
Yeah, right. And then there was the bottles and other shit too that had going on. This year, right? There was beginning of the year party, which I'm not sure if that was the first year.
So the first year it was 100 people.
Okay, that's people too, right?
Yeah, and then the second year, around Thanksgiving, they announced they were going to up it to 200 people. Mm-hmm. Once those 200 people got in, which I think it was down to they had 125 spots because about 25 people didn't renew, and then they were started at like 11 o'clock on like the Wednesday or Thursday before Thanksgiving, probably the Wednesday because Thanksgiving is on Thursday.
Too much detail.
No, people like the details, Nate.
Devil's in the details.
Stop getting hung up.
This is going to be
Keep
a
the story
4-hour
going.
podcast. We're back in it deep.
Deep track, you motherfuckers.
They sold down to about 10 spots in 10 minutes.
That's fine.
So 125 spots, and then they sold out within, I think, probably less than a half an hour. They went up to 200. Their anniversary party for the group, they opened it to the new members. Right. So it was supposed to be just for the first 100. They opened the last, which I think was Christmas Cactus, the last barrel age release. They allowed the previous 100 to order 8 cans and the new members to order 4 cans. Right. So that's what you're talking about. Like this year, all these barrel aged ones, like the Thanksgiving Cactus that just came out,
although
that was a limit of 4.
Yeah, but that shit was expensive. So why did you want to buy any more than that anyway?
Hey, when they did that Christmas Cactus, there was people buying all 8, $160 in beer for 8 cans or something like that.
Red House is doing the best they can. It would be silly to knock them for trying to meet demand of everybody. You know?
No, I like it.
I'm not saying you are. I just meant, just being in general, just speaking to the argument of, there's people out there. I've heard him argue about it in the bar about how they were original and they should have such and such access. It happened when I was picking up my King Snake because he saw I had 2 bottles, and he was like, "Are you a new member?" And I was like, "Yep." He's like, "Man, I'm original. Didn't get my lotto." It's like, dude, because you could only buy 1 bottle of King Snake. You could wish for the second.
Yeah, because they didn't have 200 bottles. They had I think 160 maybe. So you could wish for a second, but you got 1 regardless. Yeah, they did the same thing with the
and the guy
Black
and one of the brewers told me. And one of the brewers told me how they did it. They didn't even make it a wish, the lottery, at least for that particular one. They just said they just whoever bought soonest and selected for a wish, they got the wish.
Oh, nice.
They did the same thing with the Black Canyon. Yeah. That was less than 200 bottles.
And I got both my bottles on that one because as soon as those emails came in, I was like, "Yup."
I got 2 on the Black Canyon and 1 on the King Snake.
Well, I mean, I guess it helps you. People that are actually more on it will actually.
And I'm sure they did a lot. I think they may have just done it with that one instance, but it's just they're doing the best they can, and they've got a lot of demand.
No, I mean, my thought with all this is it's nice to compare what they started out with, how they've changed it, and now I actually would like to think of, do you think it's going to change again this year? Do you think there's going to change things?
Well, didn't we already have confirmed they're not going to go above 200?
They're not going to expand that would be the other side of the argument. If they didn't expand the first time,
right, and
there was 25 spots that they sold, people would be like, "Oh, they need to make it bigger and lower the allotment." So everybody bitching about the allotments now would be bitching about lowering the allotments and adding more people.
Exactly right.
But I think the last prediction I heard, they were thinking there's going to be probably about 30 to 40 spots open up. And you could get on a mailing list. They posted this a couple months ago that you could get on a mailing list to get notified when they go on sale, or all the information to when they go on sale.
And they'll just email us when we have the option to.
Yeah, everybody who's already in it will get the buy-in, so they'll know beforehand how many new spots are going to be. So
I wouldn't be surprised if they have less than they think.
I'm
sure they're just basing that off of who's just stopped buying.
Yeah, who hasn't bought in a while or who's not purchasing a lot of stuff. If I had to guess, I'd probably say 25. I think there's going to be 25 spots open up.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of disappointed people.
So it's funny. Forever ago, was it the brewery had their society membership? It was like the Reserve Society and the Preserve Society, and you could join one, and which was basically a giant waiting list to get on the other one, which is super exclusive to get into, and you got Black Tuesday and all that shit. And then now, as soon as they got bought out, we've been getting emails all week long. It was like, "Hey, join the Reserve Society, no problem," or Preserve Society, whatever it was. It's open to the public now. Don't worry, you can just totally join. And it's like, well, that goes their exclusivity. It's like, I don't really want to join that club now at this point. Well, I would have in 4 years ago, I would have joined that, but now I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Even Wren House, the barrel stuff is all society member stuff.
Yeah.
This year, I think now more so they've saved some for the brewery, so you can have a bottle in.
Oh yeah, they're always trying to make sure you can get it.
Yeah, you can get it. It's not super exclusive that you'll never taste it. They'll save some for the party. Mm-hmm. They'll save some for on-site consumption. They'll be in the bottles and everything. But the the Pie Thief and I think the Pecan Pie Thief that just came out. Both of those got released to the public because they had more than they thought.
Yeah.
I was always bummed for missing the Predation pre-order because if you bought when it came, you had about probably like 6 or 7 hours before they started getting some complaints.
Yeah.
After initial pickup. So if you bought initially, they still let you buy. They still let you have your cans. And then they stopped all sales and said everything was in-house. I was always kicking myself in the ass for not buying my Predation cans as soon as it came out.
It was the same thing with the Fire Barrel.
Because those cans are
Fireball,
obviously
the
fine.
Fireball's right.
Those cans are obviously fine because they're still serving them in-house and they're delicious.
Yep.
That was funny about the Fire Barrel. I saw people like offering like, I'll sign a waiver. Just let me have my cans.
That's fucking funny,
I
dude.
still have a can of that in there.
So do you guys think there's anything's going to change, or think that like what this way? Do you think it's going to change, and would you want anything to change? Do you want limits to go up? Would you actually see more bottle releases? Do you want to see,
No, because I
They
think in
do
the
enough-
second half, I think they got a better balance.
They
of,
cost me enough money as it is.
Yeah.
Man.
No, for sure. I'm not saying
cost-
I don't know more money.
No,
I'm saying
I
that-
mean, no. What I mean is, I think they do enough releases. I think they release enough bottles and cans, and I think their allotments are high enough that it costs me enough as it is. I wouldn't want them to change a thing.
Gotcha.
And anybody who complained early on, like Renhouse has said, like with our barrel aging program, we're a second half brewery
Anybody
for
who
that.
complained early
Right.
on is just fucking complainer.
Yeah, I mean they're
a lot.
still doing
If you're
one a
listening,
month
dude,
or.
like, good lord.
And that membership is worth it alone just for not having to wait in line on Saturday morning for
That's what my
releases.
wife says, dude. She's like, you can buy your next membership right out of the main account because it's worth it just enough not to have you popping up and leave.
So speaking of other membership accounts, do you think Helton's membership account was worth it?
Oh no, definitely not.
Because all three of us are members right now.
Don't get me
Yes,
wrong.
right.
I think they gave you a lot for $60. I think you got your coasters, you got your cups, you got your
Coin.
you got your
Growler,
coin,
coin.
you got your growler, and then you got your beers off. And that that's all fine and well.
Right.
I don't think there was anything. Was there anything in opening about their bottles and can releases and stuff?
They did that. This side up
Right.
was a collab with the shop.
No, but did
and
they
Dark
mention
Sky.
it? Did they mention it in their
Initial thing, like what? So you
Yeah,
get
in
it?
their
They
initial release.
they kind of hinted that it was like a holding spot for when they start. Get in now because we're going to start doing releases
Right.
sometime.
Okay.
They
And,
never
you know,
really
and that-
guaranteed release stuff.
and then they didn't really do any releases. You know,
No,
they haven't
right.
done shit. You
Well,
know?
they did that.
Well, they did a few things, but what I mean is in the grand scheme of releases and breweries that are doing releases around here, they never do a damn thing.
Right. Comparatively, oh, for sure. Yeah, that is not even.
And they've canned quite a bit since then, and they haven't really done like a pre-order thing. They did one pre-order for I think like that boysenberry sour,
Yeah,
but
which was okay.
I mean they've put, but I mean everything from Helton's pretty flagship.
Yeah.
They do a couple one-offs, but it's not.
I haven't had enough of their beer to make any judgment on how kind of brewery they are and kind of beer they make, but I can tell you that based off their membership stuff, it was just okay.
You know, like you said, I think if I want to join a club just to get all their
I
swag
would
in the
never
beginning,
re-up.
then cool. Then yes, I get my money's worth out of that for sure. Right. But the things that we talk about, even with the rent house stuff, is that's not something.
I'll be a Rent House member forever.
right, and that's
I'll
like that's
never
way
re-up
more
with-
expensive
I'll
than the
never
Helton's
re-up
was.
with Helton. Yeah.
So
It was way more expensive, and you got way more less in return. I mean, you got not less in return. I mean, you're really paying for your early access in that group.
yeah,
And your access to the barrel age in general. You're really paying for that, and you're paying for those. You're paying for the possibility of those beers to be made.
right.
That's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
And so, I think we got what did we get? We got some glasses. We got some
Wooden coasters.
We got some wooden coasters. Didn't we get
Yep.
some wooden coasters?
Yep.
Yeah.
I fucking lost those.
Some Tikus.
Got some Tekus. No, we got they're like bulby. Like
No, they're
wine
Tikus.
glasses.
They're Tikus. They only say Tiku on the side of them.
Yeah, they're Tiku branded Tiku glasses.
You go look in the house when you're. Just leave right now. Go look in the house right now.
I don't want to argue, but they're not shaped like Tekus.
Yes,
That's
they
fine.
are.
They're not. They're rounded.
No, they're Tikus.
The one with the Soro cactus on it.
No,
No, that's Rent House. We're talking about Helton.
Helton.
Oh, I'm talking about. We're talking about. I'm comparing it to
from
the Rent House
Oh,
membership.
I have no idea what you got from Rent House.
No, I don't. Well,
I don't remember.
This is a conversation between you.
No,
you
I
and
know.
you, Nate.
I'm comparing it because you paid 300 plus for that one, and you're paying, like I said, you're paying for the possibility of those rent house beers to be made.
Right.
And all you really got for swag up front was, like I said, the 2 rent house glasses.
Yeah, you got the 2 basically wine
which
glasses.
are not fucking Tekus. Now you understand what I'm saying.
Yes,
Okay,
you're correct.
God
Sorry, Nate.
damn
You're
it.
Now we're
right.
on the same page. You didn't do a good segue,
You didn't
Nate.
believe
That's why.
the wave of relief for hearing you say that. So, and then you got the bag.
You got the insulated bag.
In the bag, right.
Carries about 4 bottles from.
Right. And that's great, and that's all good.
You
But
got
you're
a
really
bottle
you're
opener.
really paying for access at rent.
You got a
really
bottle
are.
opener.
Yes.
You got the wooden bottle opener.
Yes, my dog chewed that recently. I was fucking pissed.
You got a T-shirt, a Saguaro Society
T-shirt? I did not get a T-shirt.
No, sorry. I got a shout out to Hilda who gave me a Saguaro
yeah, you got a
Society.
T-shirt from them. That's different.
I got the first year T-shirt for the
Yeah,
Saguaro
whatever.
Society.
Nobody cares. I'm too fat. No shirts fit me.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna wrap this up and go over to the Divided Vine. Chris needs a minute. He needs 2 minutes, but I'm just saying that's what's gonna happen.
Hey, McFate just posted their anniversary beer.
You're an anniversary beer.
Keywords double IPA. Juicy, hazy, fruity, pink, sour. Double dry hop, double IPA with hibiscus, citra, motueka, mosaic, Eldorado, and New England yeast.
New England clam chowder.
New England, hit the chime, Chris.
No, not doing that. Sorry.
Damn it.
No sound effects.
Next time I'm sitting over there. Yes.
Good stuff.
Don't worry, they'll be edited out. All right.
That's all right.
Impossible.
Exclusive noise.
Impossible. You have to cut like 40 seconds out of the show.
So what? Actually, a segment that we used to do a long time ago, Nate. That I thought about the other day, and I was like, man, why we haven't done that in a long, long time.
What's on, Chris?
Was like basically best of the week, or what's something that you had recently that you really liked. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All right.
Remember we used to do that where it was like, oh,
Yeah.
my honorable mention kind of thing. where it
Honorable
was like,
mention. I enjoy it.
yeah.
All right.
So you want to, do you want to think? You want to give a minute to think what your honorable mention is? Ed, do you have anything?
What? I missed it.
So
I do have an honorable mention.
A beer that you've had recently that you kind of want to give a shout out to that actually was probably the best beer you've had
Oh,
recently.
I thought
let's think, and we're probably gonna think for 5 minutes, and we're gonna cut it, right?
Dun,
I
dun,
thought
dun.
I thought the latest Fresh and Squeezy from Arizona Wilderness was great.
Okay.
I agree.
I
That
really
was a good
enjoyed
beer.
it.
I like that beer.
I thought that was especially a cut above some of their other recent releases, and I really enjoyed it off the can. It was great off tap. I was a fan.
Speaking of raisins, segue. Did you try the carrot cake one?
He's gonna dry that off a cliff.
No. No, I didn't. I would remember if I had a carrot cake beer. No carrot
Wren
cake
House.
beer.
I mean, not Wren House. Wilderness had a carrot cake beer.
Didn't have it.
Yeah, it was super sweet.
Sounds
Trying to think of an honorable mention. Chris?
My honorable mention, wow, it's kind of a toss-up and hilarious. It's between 2 Run House beers. I would say that the E112.
E112?
Yeah, the 112. The friggin' one after was a pallet
Jack or
Jack or Ripper, whatever. Yeah, who the fuck it is?
Ripper.
yeah.
Pallet Ripper, whatever that one is. That one was really good too. I liked it in the can. But I would say the one I was most surprised by was their fucking the Zinfandel, the stem Zinfandel we had.
Stems Infidel.
That thing, it was one of those things where I saw it was like, oh, it's Zinfandel. Yeah, no, I'm okay. And then we were there and I tried some and I was like, you smell it and it's just dank as fuck. It was super danky.
I
tasted really
hate
good.
I hate that term in beer when people say dank because I think it's too widely used. But if there's ever a
You just
way-
don't know what it means then.
No, if there's ever a beer to use dank on, it's that Stems Infidel.
Yeah, it was crazy. I fucking think it was. It was good. Actually, I was at Rent House yesterday and I had another one when I was there because I was like, it's too good to get. Not get.
Lucky.
And they had a bunch of that barrel of shit. And I was just like, nope, I'm getting a fucking stem Zinfandel. I
Damn Zinfandel.
put my pinky up. I put a cookie on it. I fucking drank it. It's
Nice.
fancy as fuck like that.
All right. Perfect.
It's been a while, but I'll go with the Ground Control Borderlands sitting in a tin can.
Nice.
All right.
That beer is still just as good as
First
time.
couple times they made it.
Yeah, the
This is
first
third
time we
right?
had it, and then that old ass can we had in Nate's beer fridge,
That's right.
which Nate has a new beer fridge. Congratulations,
Thanks, buddy. It's
And
just smaller.
There's not any old beer in it except for that Drop It Like It's Hot.
Yeah, there's an old 4-pack of that sitting in there. It's true. But that's just, shit happens.
Yeah.
I think I was supposed to give it away.
Probably. Well, I have a can still sitting in a box I'm supposed to give to Pacific Beer Chat, but it's probably never going to happen. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I don't know. You don't need that.
If you're listening right now, I'm sorry, man.
Just send him
I'll send you some. Next time we make a beer, I'll send you one. I swear, I'm the worst at mailing things.
No, just send
My
him
bad.
the Omni Polo Lolo from Pueblo Vida.
Oh, the freaking Omni Polo. That's not what it is. It's called like Coquio Polio or something like that, right?
Yeah.
That being said, if you guys haven't seen it, they made one of their cans. They made is a pineapple, I think IPA, right? And it's like the artwork that Sable Designs did is a lot better version of what a pineapple should look like.
Oh, I
compared to what
thought
our
you were
logo
such a
is.
douche for posting that.
I wasn't trying to be a dick
I thought
about
you were
it.
such a douche for posting that. That's so funny.
I said who
Just
wore
because-
it better.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
I was
about.
just like, why even compare them? They look completely different. They just got some
Hold
diagonal
on, they
lines on
don't
them.
look completely different. But I thought about.
I think they do.
I thought about doing the "This is you" and "This is the guy she told you not to worry about."
That's 100%.
Also would have been douchier.
No, for sure. Like, well, I told him. Like, I really replied back to him and said, "Here's the deal. I literally got my inspiration for our can design from all your can designs you've already done. So if
Did he
anything,
say something to you about it?
Yeah, well, we tagged him and stuff, and he was just like, I didn't even see this.
Yeah, because he's like,
So-
and because Ed's trying to stir shit up.
I
No.
didn't.
No.
I wasn't trying to stir anything up.
Bad
and there was
person,
nothing
bad.
but love in that post. Like
Say Wells,
between the
you
shop,
shouldn't even
Pueblo
have said
Vida.
anything. You're great.
And then Ryan's great.
No, Saywells is awesome. Like I've asked him, like if he ever going to put his beer labels into print form.
You should make a book out of that shit for sure.
I would love to have like a
a nice
print
freaking
of-
He should
hardcover.
do some prints. He should
Yeah.
do some prints with some of those.
Yeah, but I think Pueblo Vida owns the labels. I think,
right.
So he would have to get permission from Pueblo Vida to.
Made something for their 5th anniversary. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's
There we
do
go.
some label prints. But no, I wasn't trying to be a dick. I thought it was cool.
Hey.
Saywell's design was a lot better than Chris's. Chris is like a 4-year-old with crayons compared to Saywell designs.
Mine was very Jamaican. It was very colorful.
And if anybody has a beef, as I said, it's Aquaman.
It's true. We stole it from him for sure. Aquaman is very...
Because that is the Aquaman outfit.
Man, the worst. Sorry, Aquaman.
Let's go get some beers.
You're a homeboy. But before we do that, Nate, people want to find information about our
good.
podcast.
All right, good. We
Where
can-
should they go?
I thought we were gonna keep this
guy.
going. You know what? You can find us on hoppycraftsman.beer, at hoppycraftsman on Instagram, and Hoppy Craftsman, probably just Hoppy Craftsman on Facebook.
Everything. Twitter. We're on there.
At Hoppy Craftsman. Just try that.
You'll find us.
You'll find us.
We're on there.
We're always making posts.
Pretty much every podcasting format, whatever, iTunes, Stitcher.
Thanks for listening. We've been
Spotify.
doing this for a little over a year now, 2 years, whatever.
2 years. Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Just to extend this just a little bit, when Chris and I were at
No,
Wren House,
shut up.
I wore the hat, and Chris wore the hat for once.
We did.
Yeah.
No, I wear it all the time. I don't know.
And it was really weird for people to walk up and say, "Hey, I listen to the show," because when they see me, I don't think they think.
Yeah, they don't
They
trust me.
probably
They're not
think
thinking
I'm,
of you.
they probably think I'm you.
Trust me, they're not thinking of you.
like, look at this asshole.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. I think Nate's a dick. Hey, love
Are
your
you
show.
Nate? No.
He's like, "Are you Nate?" And he's got a fist up, ready to
Yeah.
punch you in the face.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You can be me. Yeah, go ahead, be me. I'll be at
Public.
home.
So it's cool. People listen to the show. And
They do.
Apparently,
They
that's what we're
recognize-
told.
they recognize voices, apparently.
I will say this: I have an awful memory. I will blame it on booze, but there was a nice young lady that we saw at Wren House that loved the show. She actually bought us some beer. She bought Ed a beer, which I was gonna be like, he's not on the show. Why are you buying it? But I guess
You should have. You should have made sure he knows.
But she was being really nice. She bought Ed a beer as well, and then she surprised us and she bought every Wren House in-house can they had available,
nice.
and then we tried them with her, and I got really really drunk. So
Well,
thank
fun.
you. It was
Sounds like
awesome.
sounds like a nice, fun, innocent Saturday.
It was really
Yeah.
it was a really good time. I loved it.
We just got off
Good.
of probation.
All right, let's go get some beers at the Divided Vine.
So, but besides that, we have to actually thank our fucking amazing people that support our show.
I don't
Nate.
know any of those people.
I do, so I'm gonna fucking say them.
Chris, who are the most awesome people in the world?
besides your wife, Ed?
Suck it
Yeah.
up.
Besides Ed's wife, who
Oh, thanks by making a new tier for her, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
And that she promptly joined.
well, she should. She asked me for it, and I love to give our patron supporters what they ask for. So I was like, no problem for you, Cena. Anything you want. Made a tier for her. That being said, the other supporters, Javier Gonzalez, Jessica Lang. I think it's Jessica Lang. Hold on.
The Jessica Lang?
Jessica Langley. Not the
Actress lady.
yeah, not the Jessica actress lady.
All right.
This lady
No
is
problem.
just as nice though.
Yeah, I'm happy
probably
we
nicer.
have
I've never
her.
met Jessica Langley.
Yep.
Or Jessica Lang.
I bet our supporters way nicer.
100%. Phil Mitchell Wall, Rob Fulmer of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
And then the Indie Beer Show. So thanks.
Hey.
Beer shows, supporting beer shows. They actually have their new format now. They actually have, well, they still have 3 people. I don't know if you guys listened to it or not lately, but I'm actually really dug it.
Do we still have 2 cans left from the guy who got kicked out of that?
Yes, we do.
Group? So I don't know if we need to give those. I don't know if we
Just
need
want
to
to
give
trade-
those back.
trade
You,
for
we
it.
want to mail them back to them?
No.
All right.
Return to sender.
I don't know if we're supposed to drink those or not, but
Just gonna, maybe we'll drink them at some point.
many thanks.
Yeah. All right, guys. As always, thanks for listening. I'm Chris.
I'm Nate.
And we're going to Divide Vine.
Hey, thanks for being here, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Bye,
You're welcome.
Ed.
Bye.